Hello and welcome to the Today's Money Masters. I'm your host, Jean-Paul Manu. The Today's Money Masters competition comprises 3 professional investors and a novice, each provided with $500,000 to invest. The participants have invested in stocks, bonds, and collective investment schemes, and they're sharing their strategies over this one-year period. At the end of the period, the top portfolio manager will be declared. So let's continue with the masters on this very exciting journey. Welcome back. We've been talking with Mr. Steve Gooden, past master himself, a CEO of NCB Capital Markets and president of the Jamaica Securities Dealers Association. Yeah. So, Stephen, what would you advise investors in stocks and bonds to do at this time?
Well, I'll say be diligent. Remember the points I made earlier before. The markets will recover.
Will recover. So there's no need to panic.
Yeah, there's no need to panic. And within a crisis, there are opportunities, right? And companies and economies will be more resilient coming out. So what I'll say is just be more diligent in doing your assessments. There are going to be some companies that will be hit by the COVID virus, because the whole world has gone on a slowdown. Some companies, the impact is short term. Some maybe impact in other cases may be longer. As a matter of fact, coming out of this crisis, I do believe it's going to change the way we operate in the world.
Okay.
And that will have positive and negative implications for companies depending on the industry that you're in.
Give us an example. What you think?
So, for example, going through this period here, companies that manufacture, distribute, say, medical supplies, cleaning agents will do well, especially over the short term. You going forward, I expect that the whole idea of work from home and the use of technology to carry out your day-to-day functions, that is something that's going to get more focus.
Right.
So where technology is concerned, I'm sure you'll probably see another wave of innovation coming out of this thing. People may very well change the way they view travel and how they travel and so on. So there are a number of things that you need to take into consideration and properly understand how will it impact the performance of the companies, less so over the short term, but more over the long term, right? That's one. Then having done that now, you have the conversation around valuations, right? And the rule is, all things equal, you buy on the low, you sell on the high, right? A valuation may be low because the outlook is bad, may be high because the outlook is good. But at the end of the day, you need to understand how does this impact the performance and kind of determine your entry and exit point. Right, and avoid this thing of mass selling, because you may very well be selling a good stock or a good security at an undervalued price.
At an undervalued price.
Right, so don't panic. Don't panic. Be diligent and look for the opportunities.
And this is still a time to follow your gut, though, in terms of, because when a lot of investors we've discussed with other masters, they pick their stock based on they do their research and they have a good feeling about it.
So man, a combination of both. A combination of both. You don't downplay the importance of that gut feeling. But during times like these, especially as you go into an unknown, it's very important to do your research, do your analysis.
Okay, so things are not changing drastically.
I mean, if you go back to 08, 09, I mean, a different kind of crisis, but markets went down. Those created significant opportunities. Look at the recovery post that crisis, right? This is an opportunity for many persons that panic and didn't capitalize on the crisis that time to capitalize on what we are seeing now.
Okay. All right. How would you access the measures implemented by the regulators?
Well, as a regulated firm, there's a process, protocol, procedure in place to access these measures if needed. And the whole market, financial market, is properly sensitized around what to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What recovery would you anticipate? what are you looking for in the short term?
That's a very good question. I mean, we don't know how long this will last. The truth is that debt instruments, bonds, and so on tend to recover before equities.
Okay.
And you just look at the capital structure of a company and which one is ranked senior or have preferential rights relative to the other along a capital structure. Bonds tend to recover first.
Okay.
No. Will we see a recovery in a few weeks versus a few months? I can't say. But follow the rule, valuation.
Okay.
Right? Look at your models, do your assessment, and from there, use that as your guiding principle. Now, at the end of the day, you may end up buying a stock or a bond, and the price may fall off afterwards. Again, don't panic, because that may very well be a function of panic selling.
Okay.
Right? Once you do your assessment and you're confident in your assessment, use that as your guide in terms of what the appropriate entry and exit price is. Right? And once you're confident in that, and if the prices fall off some more, that itself creates an opportunity to buy more.
To buy more.
Right.
And get
right. But try to strike that balance. I mean, there's still a lot of unknowns. We're still early in the crisis. So being diligent is key.
Okay. The timing of this crisis is a challenge for our competition, because we're winding down in about June or so. Don't know how much the recovery will be up to that point. As a past master yourself, what would your advice be to some of our current players?
Right. So if I were in the shoe, what I'll say is focus on those, given that we are, how many months out? 3 months? Three and a half months out.
Yes, about 3.5. Yeah.
Try to identify those companies that would potentially benefit from a performance perspective from the crisis, and kind of focus on those.
So, like you said before, the medical.
Well, just to give an idea, right? That type of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of focus on those, and also recall the point I made about bonds. Bonds tend to recover first. So, given the short time horizon, you could very well see some undervalued opportunities that could recover in the short to medium term.
Okay. Nice. I feel like we could speak all afternoon, Stephen.
Yes.
It's really nice to have you. Always nice to see you. Your experience in the competition was a good one.
It was a great one. 2 times.
Yeah.
Actually 2 times.
And you did well.
Yes.
All right. We're going to leave it there. Steven Gooden, thank you so much, sir. Nice to see you. Steven Gooden is, as we mentioned, a past master, also the CEO of NCB Capital Markets Limited, one of our sponsors, and president of the Jamaica Securities Dealers Association. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Join us next week, same time, for another exciting episode of the Masters Competition. Follow the pros and the one novice each week on the Masters Competition, and listen and analyze the strategies with the Masters on Radio Jamaica, Thursdays at 8:45 a.m. as they challenge each other to stay ahead. Also, look out for their portfolios in the Financial Gleaner. The Masters Competition is a product of Today's Money Limited, brought to you in partnership with NCB Capital Markets Limited, Money Masters Limited, Credit Union Fund Management Company Limited, and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I'm Jean-Paul Manu. The Masters is another fine product from Today's Money Limited.